So today on the program, I'm with Ed Cross, who's an attorney in California, and he's the chairman of the Advocacy and Government Affairs Committee with the RIA, or the Restoration Industry Association. Ed, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. I'm not actually the chair anymore. I was the founding chair, and then I became the restoration contractor advocate, and they relieved me of my duties as chair so I could focus on that. And now that role of chair is in the able hands of Katie Smith of PHC Restoration, who is the president-elect of RIA, and she's doing a fantastic job.
That sounds good. It sounds like you got a promotion then of some
Yes.
kind.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's great. I love what's going on with them.
Yeah. So for those out there that don't know this, Ed is my long lost brother, and he got all the hair.
Brother from another mother.
Yeah, no relation, just share the same last name. But Ed, I know you're a busy guy out there in California in perfect weather. Everyone talks about that's the place to be. I imagine.
Outstanding. It was 120 here last week. Come on out, brother.
I'll stay here in Ohio where it's 80.
Okay. Yeah, and 80% humidity.
That happens. That does happen.
Yeah.
Well, Ed, today I want to talk about a couple things. One is a story that I've been discussing with others about a homeowner, a couple in Tennessee. And on April 12th of this year, a tornado touched down in Chattanooga, and it damaged their home, amongst others. But the one we're talking about took off part of the roof and did some other damage. And their insurance company, we're not going to mention names here, their insurance company has been dragging their feet. There's a TPA involved. And it's been, since April 12th, we're talking months ago. They're still not in their home. Work is stalled because the insurance company won't pay supervisory wages and overhead and profit. And, you've heard this before, right?
A couple thousand times.
So what I'd like to do is get your thoughts. Is there a solution to this? Maybe from Ed Cross, the attorney, or from the RIA?
Yeah. Well, I wish I had a perfect solution for it, Jeff. First off, thank you for having me here today. Secondly, I'm really glad that you have taken on this particular issue because it's something that's really important and it's really timely. And I think the underlying problem of what you're describing here is basically twofold. It's a lack of integrity on certain people's parts, and it's also the fact that these insurance companies tend to be understaffed. And so the basic approach that I teach when I'm teaching my project management course with Violan that we do through Kent State University, I've taught that for a decade now. And the three basic tenets of that are communication, documentation, and follow through. There are a number of good rules that protect policyholders that are designed to get insurance companies to move forward and process claims. But at the end of the day, we can't legislate integrity.
Yeah, that would be nice if we could do that. So is there anything like this couple, if they were to watch this, they could do to get things done? Because, we talk about these issues and we're not involved in these issues. Personally, if part of my roof was gone and I had to be out of my house for 4 or 5 months, I'd be a little upset.
Right. Yeah, so some insureds have good luck when they hire a public adjuster. Unfortunately, a lot of times when a PA gets involved, the insurance companies will kind of dig in their heels. Some contractors are very hesitant to get involved when there's a PA. There's some good PAs and there's some that aren't, just like any other kind of industry. I think it's important for people to give serious thought as to when is the right time to escalate and bring in a lawyer. If you bring in the lawyer too soon, it looks like you're sue happy. If you bring in the lawyer too late, you may lose some of your rights and you may be stuck and out of your house like this couple who had this very unfortunate loss, and it sounds like serious damage to the property. And there's so many people involved. There's so many players involved. It can help them sometimes to bring in a consultant who's not a PA. And it's important while we're on this subject to talk about really the linchpin of what public adjusting is. Excuse me. A lot of restoration contractors get accused of engaging in public adjusting. It's completely okay and permissible for a restoration contractor to negotiate on their own behalf with an insurance company. They can talk about price, they can talk about scope, that sort of thing. Where they get themselves in trouble is where they hold themselves out as a representative of the insured. When you're representing the insured for purposes of settling an insurance claim, you are public adjusting. If you don't have a license to do that, you violated the law. And in most or all states, public adjusting without a license is a crime. So I think that they should seek professional help and maintain the pressure, but not escalate unreasonably fast. The responses should be proportional, and they should really keep an eye on the statutory deadlines that an insurance company has to respond to a claim.
Yeah, good advice, Ed. Is there anything the RIA is working on that eventually may help with this issue?
The RIA is working on lots and lots of stuff right now. Through its Advocacy and Government Affairs Committee, one of our big efforts in the past number of weeks is with respect to issues and challenges with third-party consultants. And a lot of restorers are concerned that these consultants are coming in and playing Monday morning quarterback. They're trying to change the price. They're trying to change the scope. They're micromanaging. In some instances, they're not qualified to do this. In most instances, they don't want to disclose their particular qualifications. And this really is problematic, and it hurts the insureds. And when a third-party consultant influences an insurance company to pay less than the fair market value of the work, and the insurance company isn't paying out what an insured needs to properly restore a property, that doesn't just hurt that insured. It's unhealthy for the whole ecosystem. Mm-hmm. That affects the whole economy, for that matter. So what we are on the precipice of publishing is some very bold position statements, 8 different position statements for the industry to use and have and to hold. And it's some of the best arguments that we've been able to come up with for ways to resolve some of these problems with third-party consultants and how to draw a line in the sand. At our virtual conference coming up October 6th and October 7th, we've got some very special guests there. On day 2, I'm moderating a panel discussion with some of the senior executives from JS Held, including John Held and Adrian Frank and Sarah Rayleigh. And we're going to be working through some of these issues and problems that are with these third-party consultants. But it doesn't stop there. The RIA did a massive survey to collect data about contractor experiences with third-party administrators. And we are in the process of formulating a scorecard. You know, Jeff, restorers don't have Yelp to go to and read about different TPAs. We want them to be able to make an informed decision before they agree to get on a particular program. And RIA is going to be delivering a scorecard for members only that they can use to help make an informed decision on that regard. And then on the other end, of course, we continue to maintain the pressure on the standardized pricing and dealing with all of the issues with Xactimate. We've seen a lot of tremendous success there. It's gone very well. And the industry is now finally starting to feel united, which has always been the goal of the AGA.
Absolutely. Being united and together on these issues is important. Well, it sounds like you don't have time to be a lawyer with all this stuff with RIA going on.
Got a lot of balls in the air.
Or I should say typical lawyer.
Yeah. I knew I couldn't get out of this without a lawyer jab or two from you, Brother Cross.
Of course not. Of course not. Hey, Ed, I know one thing that some contractors have been asking about, especially with the coronavirus and COVID-19, the pandemic, are contracts. Yes. Paperwork they can use to do their work. Maybe it's not just restoration, maybe it's other industries as well that need that. But I understand you have something for the industry about contracts that are needed.
Yeah, we have a standardized set of coronavirus cleanup contracts on our website, therestorationlawyer.com. And we're also continually adding new products there as well. We have an employer-employee agreement relating to the disclosure of symptoms and ways that employers can kind of manage their risk within the workplace. We have subcontracts on there. We have general cleaning and restoration contracts, but the attention right now is really going to those COVID cleanup documents.
All right. Well, Ed, it's always good to catch up with you, and
You
we'll
too,
do
Brian.
another update on what you're doing
Yeah,
in a few
let's.
weeks or so. And I hope the convention's a success.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sure it will be. We appreciate your support.